okay, it's the end of the year, and I want to give you guys some interesting news. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, but something is changing. And I'm saying this because I read the press every single day. It's part of my job. And I notice the headlines, I notice the articles. And it's a very bizarre change. First and foremost, it appears that identity politics is dying. And I don't want to have a retard coming up and it's like, no, V, look, I found this article. It debunks what you just said. Like, I'm sure, congratulations, you found an article. I'm talking in general. The overwhelming theme, like there used to be articles about the cisgender, heteronormative, patriarchal men, about colonialism. We need to decolonize Britain. We need to decolonize America. Reparations. Yeah, I don't see that anymore. And what's also fascinating is, remember the hysteria from a couple of weeks ago during the elections? It's like, oh, we need to prevent Donald Trump because it's the death of democracy. Fascismus. No woman is ever going to be able to vote again. Abortions banned. Where is the hysteria now? Is the handmaid the project agenda 2024, agenda 2025? What is it? Why is no one freaking out about it? I can't find like a single article about the fear pornography that the journalists have subjected the public for the last year. And no one is apologizing, no one is concerned anymore, right? Like, they were so concerned, they were extremely concerned, and all of a sudden they stopped being concerned. That's interesting, right? That's fascinating. Again, the best way to read the news is to read the news from 2 years ago. And you can see what manipulative twats, a lot of the people that are working at this multi-billion-dollar international corporations called the mainstream media are. But what's also more interesting than this is not just that the identity politics is going away, right? Like, we don't have people being accused of misogyny because they're disagreeing with a woman. We don't have people being told to shut the fuck up because they're a straight cisgender white man. Like, none of that exists. And instead, what's also interesting is that no one is attacking Trump. I mean, sure, you know, like, they're going to have time to do it. But, I mean, the man said that he wants to seize Panama, to transform Canada into another state. Like, holy shit, if this was something he said in the first term, even as a joke, which, by the way, like, regarding Panama, I don't know if he's joking or not, but regarding Canada, I'm pretty sure he is. If he was to say that, the press would be up his ass 24/7. They would be hysterical. It's like, oh, we need impeachment. It's going to start World War III. I mean, they were freaking out about 2 scoops of ice cream, right? And now it seems that Trump can say literally anything, and the press just takes it. They don't give a shit. I'm just noticing. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just pointing it out. Entertainment companies in the United States, they would be like, oh, if you don't like our product, you're a bigot, you're an istophobe. Yeah, now they're shutting the fuck up. Like, community managers, all of a sudden, they're a lot more respectful. They're still cheeky little shits, probably seething, but they seem to be a little bit more respectful. And so, I'm noticing changes, you know, the Young Turks. Like, for fuck's sakes, if the Young Turks are thinking that the Republicans are the winning team now. Because there's no fucking way I would see Cenk Uygur go and address American patriots and receive standing ovations and shit. It doesn't matter if he believes it or not, but what's important is that someone at the Young Turks saw that, okay, Republicans are the winning team, we need to switch. We're losing all our audience. Like, we gotta switch. And you have, like, all these interesting segments with Anna Kasparian freaking out that Kamala Harris might end up as the governor of California now. And it's like a visceral, no, like, she's genuinely afraid of that. So, yeah, like, it seems as things are going to change. For the good, for the bad, I don't know. But, like, let me put it this this way, like Trump says that he will end wokeness. Trump says that he is going to try to make transitioning kids a thing of the past. And the mainstream media is the same shit. Did you notice that? I mean, sure, there are a couple of articles where like they're a little bit disappointed. Imagine if you said that back in 2018. Like, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, there would be back-to-back coverage, articles after articles, people in the streets protesting. The Democrats, they would start another impeachment. The only thing that they're doing right now is President Musk. Like, this is the new attack point. President Musk this, President Musk that. The problem that they fail to understand is that when you have, like, leftists back donors, right? Like, you got the Jeff Bezos that donates, or you have the George Soros that donates. Many people on the left dislikes these billionaires. Like, there's people on the left that dislike George Soros, and there's people on the left that dislike Jeff Bezos. So if you were to say President Bezos, implying that Bezos has influenced the president, right? Like, he's influencing Joe Biden, and the policy that are done in the United States are due to Jeff Bezos. Like, people on the left, like, from their voting base would be in an uproar. But the thing with Elon Musk is like, well, he actually campaigned with Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump did talk about what Musk's position is going to be. He showed him to the public. Everyone knows. He unbanned my friends. Like, this is another thing that they don't fucking understand. The absolute seething, the deep seething that the public had towards censorship. It's like, you're minding your own business on the internet, you're having fun, and all of a sudden they're banning your friends. And here comes this rich fuck. And it's like, yeah, all your friends can come back. And this is like, among the right-wingers. So, like, a lot of people like him because he actually had an involvement, a direct involvement into their personal lives. But not only that, as I mentioned, like, he campaigned with Donald Trump. Like, he was on the stage. Everyone knew that he's going to have a role in the government. And so when you say President Musk, no one gives a fuck. Even if Musk was to manipulate and puppeteer Donald Trump, no one cares, because, like, they knew when they voted. They knew he was going to be involved in the government. And so people voted for him regardless, right? Like, he wasn't like a shadowy donor or someone that donated money in private. No. And this is what the left doesn't understand, like, why the President Musk thing doesn't work. But, going back to the media and the way they're covering, it's very interesting. I personally think that maybe they noticed, oh shit, a lot of right-wing parties are popping up in Europe. So they're doing damage control with that. As I keep mentioning, like, right now in Europe, if you don't support Ursula von der Leyen in everything that she does, in everything that she says, absolutely no exception, then you're a Putinist, you're a far-right extremist, you're a xenophobic bigot. Right? So, like, I understand that some may very well be. Like, some xenophobes don't like Ursula von der Leyen. But, like, literally all, like, every single criticism. There's absolutely nothing wrong that the European Union does. There can be no reform. There can be no conversations about it. Is the bureaucracy maybe just a little bit too difficult for upstarting companies? Like, can we not have... No, we can't have the conversation because only Putin wants to have these conversations. Okay, so that's the situation in Europe. Governments are falling. So what? Like, Germany is going to have snap elections. The French government didn't do very well. Britain is holding strong, though. Yeah, despite the approval ratings, they're still holding strong. Although seeing Keir Starmer going around and going like, hey, you know what? This immigration thing, yeah, it was planned by the Tories. And it was, like, by design. Interesting. What can I say? Omoshiroi. Yeah, I do think that from a cultural standpoint, things are going to change. And I think, like, Twitter allowing people to have... I'm not going to say, like, free speech, right? Because They still ban you if you're being hateful. They still ban you if you start dropping slurs. But like political ideas, like you can actually say political concepts that would have been banned in 2020. And that's wild because after Twitter did that, a lot of other platforms allowed it. And so we're in a very interesting position where I don't know what the future is going to have. I don't know what it's going to bring. But what I can tell is that so far the press doesn't fucking know either. Like, you got Jeff Bezos coming up and saying, yeah, I want to tell Donald Trump that we're not the enemy of the people and I'm going to fire some of my staff and we're going to force them to write some right-wing news as well. They're noticing where the winning team is. That's my only conclusion. Now, the problem with the winning team is that the winning team can actually do what it set out to do and fulfill the reforms that it promised the public, or the winning team can fall into corruption. Corruption is when the person in charge doesn't care about other people, but only wants to enrich themselves. So they're making deals and businesses that are profitable for them. Now, in Romania, we have the saying, a little corruption is acceptable because we live in reality, right? Like, we don't live in the world with zero corruption wasn't invented yet. And so, you know, like, a little bit is accepted, but, like, can you do something for the people while you're being corrupt? It's like, okay, 20% corrupt, but, like, 80%, right? Like 80% of the things can you do for the people? That's the mindset in Eastern Europe. And hopefully we're going to see some of that. It's definitely going to be very interesting. The left is completely demoralized, from what I can see. Like, the Democrats are absolutely demoralized. And the fact that, like, look, the fact that they're holding leftist politicians accountable is fucking baffling. Like, up until now, let's say that you had a politician, a right-wing politician that was tough on borders. And he was like, no, we need to secure the borders, blah, 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 blah. But someone, let's say, would die at the border, right? Like, they would drown, or something that would happen, which, you know, maybe could have been prevented, but it wasn't like something intentional. Like, it's just like someone swam and they drowned. Immediately the press would be up that politician's ass, and it's like, it's your responsible, you did this. As if he was literally there, like John Baptiste, putting the person under the water, going blah, 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 blah. That's how the press reacted, right? And when something would happen that the left wing was responsible for, like, let's say, a person that entered the country illegally committed a crime or a murder, like, the press would immediately bury the story. Now what happened in New York with the lady set on fire, like, I saw people pushing AOC on this and questioning her and being like, what the fuck? And that was like, well, yeah, really, what the fuck? That's the first time that I actually see a leftist politician being held to account for their policies. And I've been doing this for more than 8 years. I'm pretty sure, like, in the past, leftist politicians were held accountable, but, like, I didn't see it. And so, the only thing that I believe is left, which is going to be a problem, is environmentalism. Like, environmentalism is probably here to stay. Internet censorship, the Russians are omnipresent, especially on TikTok. Like they have such advanced technology that the rest of the world cannot deal with unless we have censorship. Environmentalism means that you're going to have to pay more money to the government, right? Like, the government can do the rain dance and stop the clouds from forming. And so, more taxes. And on top of that, you're also going to have to agree with the government taking away some of your rights. You don't really need a gas stove, okay? You don't really need to consume as much. The economic future, in my opinion, for the next year at least, is going to be grim. After the next year, maybe things will be different, but next year is going to be grim. I see a lot of governments in Europe doing austerity measures. They're not calling it austerity measures, but I'm looking at what they're doing, and yeah, it looks pretty fucked up. If Trump actually goes with the tariffs on China, it's also going to be a little bit difficult until businesses start forming in the United States. It even depends on how much Elon Musk is going to cut back on regulations. Like here's the interesting things, right? Like if Elon Musk goes there and he starts cutting back on regulations and he starts slashing a lot of the bureaucracy, and then Trump puts tariffs in China, a lot of businesses will be like, hold on a little bit, like why is a t-shirt costing $50? Oh, tariffs. But what if we make the t-shirt here in America? Oh, there's no more regulations, there's no more bureaucracy. Okay, let's make it here and then we can sell it for 20. And so you create jobs for the people, and at the same time, you create competition and a good product. So, yeah, this can actually happen. We'll see what the next year brings. I personally, am looking positive from a social standpoint. A lot more free speech, a lot more commentary on the internet. But economically, I think they're going to have to tighten the belt, which is probably going to happen all around the world. That's my take for the next year. Let me know what you think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.